Bonjour and bienvenue, welcome back to La Vie Franglais. We are back in the living room and I thought that we would discuss the process of moving. This video is only looking at the process. I won't go into too much detail, however I will explain the different processes that we need to do. In later videos I will go into much more detail, but for now I'm just covering the process. Once you've decided that you want to move to France, there are a few things that you need to consider. The reason that we are moving to France is because of the looming deadline of
Don't say
I need to be able to say it because that's what the video is about. Can I say it 10 times?
5,
8 times?
5,
6 times?
5.
5 times? The reason we have decided to move is because of the looming deadline of Brexit. During our research and decision making, we relied on the internet for a lot of the information. There is a general consensus of what will happen during the transition period, however, not much is known of what will happen afterwards. I have tried to reference as much of the information as I can, and all the links will be down in the description. So the first port of call for us was to look at the UK government's website on Brexit. Their guidance is quite clear, however it still doesn't cover all the different aspects of moving. Something, however, is very clear. If you are a resident in France before the transition period ends on the 31st of December 2020, you will be able to stay. This is also confirmed by the French government's website.
British citizens may circulate freely in France under the same conditions as today until the end of the transition period, and will have until the 31st of July 2021 to obtain or renew their resident permit.
So it seems if you can confirm your residency before the 31st of December, you are free to reside in France. However, you will need to obtain a residency permit. This is similar to the settled status that the UK is offering EU nationals. You must apply for this permit before the 31st of July 2021. The important thing to note is that everyone needs to apply for this permit. These include all UK national residents in France will need to obtain a new resident permit in line with the withdrawal agreement. This includes UK nationals that are already in France, UK nationals that are applying for second nationality, and UK nationals that are married to a French person. So, I can arrive in France before the December deadline and apply for my permit anytime between now and the 31st of July. We've decided that this is the best course of action for us, and if you are thinking about moving to France in the near future, and it is possible to, we recommend that you do the same. Although what will happen after the deadline is still speculative, it is thought that a work-based visa system will be put in place. Generally speaking, those seeking to relocate to France will need to make an application for a long-stay visa called a visa de long séjour, of which there are different types, but most are valid for initially 1 year. Other sources also claim that it may be required that you earn a certain income before you're allowed to stay. This may be a yearly income or a monthly income. The reason that we are doing this now is because I want to give myself as much time as possible to get the paperwork in order. Moving to France before this deadline will also give me access to other European rights that we were entitled to before Brexit. This includes the right to work. If you are a resident in France on or before the 31st of December 2020, you will maintain your right to work as long as you remain resident in France. So it seems that I can continue to work after the deadline. Something to remember is that if I am working in France, then I will also be liable for tax in France. Healthcare is one of those topics that I don't actually have much experience with. I am incredibly fortunate to not have any underlying health conditions and therefore do not require regular hospital checkups. However, I still need to be protected in cases of emergency. Again, the government website has this to say. If you are legally resident in France, you can get a French social security card for healthcare, Carte Vitale. The Carte Vitale will entitle you to the basic healthcare in France. The Carte Vitale does not entitle you to the full services offered by the French system. You will need to subscribe to a top-up insurance called a mutuelle. This is a monthly payment that tops up your basic healthcare. In order to qualify for a Carte Vitale, you will need to fill out an S1 form from the NHS. Once you've filled out this form, you relinquish your right to the NHS healthcare in favour of the French system. Once you are a resident for 3 months, you can apply to become part of the French healthcare system called PUMA. PUMA is a universal protection scheme that allows you access to the French social system. You're entitled to this protection no matter your employment status. So I've only skimmed the top of this topic as I'm still in the UK and cannot apply for any of these systems until I move there. I will of course go into much more detail when I come to those processes. I will also hopefully do a step-by-step guide on how to fulfill each one. Other things that we have yet to consider are things like our pension and our student loans. There is a wealth of information on the internet about moving to a European country and Brexit. Thanks again for watching. I know this one was a bit more informative than entertaining, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. If you have liked it, please like and subscribe, and please share with anyone you think this may interest. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and I will try to answer them. Again, I'm no expert, I'm just going through this live as and when we do things. Thank you, and until next time, au revoir. Brexit.